CSGO Pro Tactic Inferno. Welcome to Gaming Daily Input. Today, we're going to share the most exclusive CSGO Pro Tactics of Inferno. This video will serve as guidelines for your terrorist side approach on Inferno and should not be considered as the only way to play or the ultimate guide that will lead you to 100% win rates. As you know, having success in a CS match depends on a lot of variables, and even if you have flawless strategies, it may still not be enough to get the win. With that said, let's get on with the map layout analysis. Inferno has a very distinctive layout, with 2 middle lanes, an A bomb site with 3 entering points, arches, short, and balcony, each with its own characteristics, and a B bomb site that's known for having only one entrance, unless somehow the terrorists are able to flank from CT spawn, making it one of the hardest bomb sites to gain control as a terrorist. There are some procedures you should always follow on every round when playing T-side Inferno. Flash upper mid from T-ramp. This will avoid being peeked from top mid or even rushed, as they will get blind when approaching mid, forcing them to retreat. Throw a Molotov on top of banana. Behind the wooden cover in the old car position, this will make sure your opponents will not be able to peek you there if you're trying to get control of banana. Beware, he may still try and peek you on the brick wall should the Molotov not be enough to cover the entire area. Throw a Molotov on apartments from second mid to avoid being peeked from there, or even to avoid allowing your opponents to have more information than they should on the first seconds of the round. While the first 2 of those suggestions can and should be thrown by the same player, whoever has the best spawn, the third one has to obviously be thrown by another, as these have to be carried on as soon as possible in the beginning of the round. Next, we'll cover a few simple strategies to enter each site and seize control from the opposing team, starting with the A bomb site. A short with apartments as second contact. This one is rather simple and involves 3 to 4 players pushing short together, while 1 to 2 wait in apartments for the first fights to start, hopefully putting the CTs at a disadvantage. Regarding utility, to begin the execution, you need boiler and apartments control. That means a smoke grenade in long is crucial. After that, you could have a smoke protecting pit, another in the balcony to allow for the second contact to push in more safely, and eventually one in bike to cover for the eventual rotation. The players in apartments should be flashing out to help the teammates pushing below. Remember to play with each other, looking for trade frags. Split A. Works pretty much like the previous one, with the exception that you're splitting up to long and arches instead of only pushing short. I recommend having 1 player in apartments, 2 short and 2 long. The first steps on this execution is making sure to be clear, boiler, long, and apartments, whether that is by killing the opponents or making them retreat to the bomb site. The players on short should wait for the long attackers to be positioned forward near the library door before starting the push. To get long control, a smoke grenade should be thrown on arches and a Molotov smoke in library. After that, being fast is essential, as rotations and smoke fadeouts will start happening. The strategy is pretty straightforward from here, as you will only need to pincer your opponents, taking special care for flashbangs and incendiaries, slowing the pace down. That's when the player in apartments should appear, as the third and final contact. There are countless other strategies that can be applied on different situations of the match, like a push in apartments, but the focus of this article is to team play and focusing on different aspects with the same goal in mind. Controlling banana default smoke grenades. Probably the most common strategy there is. After getting banana control with the utility I talked about earlier in the article, you should group up in banana while smoking CT and coffins. Both of these smokes can be thrown safely from banana. Afterwards, throw Molotovs to the first row of boxes and quad. Start pushing immediately after with a flashbang thrown from the last player popping behind you. This combination of utility will make your opponents have to flee from those positions, only to instantly get flashed while looking for cover. You can also have a player on second middle, waiting for the rotation towards middle. There are some points you should be careful of though. The opponents can flash from CT and push the smoke. That's a rather common play to do. Be prepared to counter that. Always pre-fire the CT boosts on the wall. After getting the bomb site control and still having smoke covering CT, be prepared for a counter boost on the wall, most of the time followed by a flashbang, or always followed by a flashbang if playing against high-skilled opponents. Wall of smokes. The point of this strategy is the opposite of the previous one. While you were aiming to get control of the entire bomb site previously, now you're only going for the plant in front of them, while retaining banana control. You're going to be planting inside a smoke, while your teammates cover it with utility, mainly flashbangs. 3 smoke grenades are needed for this execution, with one going CT spawn and the other 2 covering the path to bomb site. Remember to play as much on the edge of the bomb site as possible to allow for easier peeks. Make sure to know exactly where the bomb is, as you will most likely get smoked out, which could actually work in your favor if you know the position of the bomb. Split to B. This one has several ways of being executed, with the split coming either from banana to construction or from the faraway A bomb site. The second one is very situational, as a good team will never let you get through arches unless something out of the ordinary happens. If you actually manage to swift your way through here, the first contact will always be yours, as the opponents will not be expecting a flank, and you'll find them with their backs turned. Try to maintain triggered discipline as long as you can, so you can try to spot all the enemies in the site before making your presence known. Only after you start shooting will your team push and pincer them. The same principle should be applied if you actually manage to pass from banana to CT unnoticed, making your way through constructions. Your teammates can even bait you by smoking CT after you're there to make them believe it's just a normal smoke. After that, just play it like a normal post-plant situation. All the smokes used in this article can be seen in action in the following video from the Gaming God.
First smoke I have for you guys is for CT spawn. You're going to come and run up the logs here, aim at the top of this scaffolding, and then you're going to bring your crosshair up in between these 2 lines and left click throw. This smoke is going to perfectly land in CT spawn. As an alternative, you can come to this broom on banana, aim at this watermark just above the brick wall, and left click throw once again. This smoke's going to bounce off the wall, trickle down and land in the exact same spot. The next smoke to combo with this one is for spools, or coffins as they're now called. You're going to aim at this ball and raise it up to the height of the second ball, and then you're going to left click throw once again. This is going to completely smoke off the coffins area without leaving a gap, and you won't be able to jump on top of the coffins to peek over. This next smoke is for the front of site. You're going to come and line up with this wall, aim just to the left of the tree, and bring your crosshair up all the way to where it touches this line, and left click throw. This is going to smoke the front part of the site here, and you can combo it with this next smoke I'm going to show you.
One important topic that needs to be addressed is knowing how to respond to your enemy's moves. While everything seems pretty easy and straightforward when laid on the table, the situations will always differ from one another, as one player reacts differently when compared to another one. Even if you know your strategies better than anyone else, you can always be surprised by your opponent. Be prepared for that to happen, whether that is with the different utility used, giving precise calls, middle action, or even avoid what could be a safe reload. Always be prepared to trade your teammates. That means avoiding lining up, so your opponent doesn't have time to adjust his crosshair by the time you're already firing at him. Also, avoid throwing flashbangs to yourself. Instead, have a teammate flash for you, so you can always have the gun up. This was our time, and we hope you use these tactics in the upcoming competitive matches. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Like, share, and subscribe to Gaming Daily Input, and ring that notification bell to get our regular updates. See you soon!